Hello gorgeous souls of YouTube. I just wanted to come in here and discuss something really profound. So something came up on my video feed a couple of days ago, and it was a video that I posted a year ago, just over a year ago, and it was a reel, and it was a reel that I shared of me in the midst of a migraine with aura and leading into a dystonia storm, which part of fibro is migraines, brilliant, and dystonia storm. So migraines, obviously, they can affect your vision, they can affect your, obviously they bring pain in your head, like really fucking difficult pain in your head. It feels like your head is being crushed in a vice, and my migraines come from here because this is one of my stress points. It's one of my weak areas, is my neck. So they start here at the bottom base of the neck, going into the skull, and then they just fire over the top. Okay, and it really, a migraine on its own is really debilitating, and this is why this particular reel was filmed on my bed. I will link the reel below just so you can go and have a look. And it's so fascinating to me. Let me just give you a little bit of a down low even on the dystonia piece, because the dystonia storms were horrendous for me. And a dystonia storm is when your body sort of goes into spasm. So you're spasming and you can't control it. And it's like, it's almost like being, I wanted to say stung by bees, but it's not even that, because the pain isn't like as localized as that. It's almost like, you know, when you see a program in the hospital and they use the defibs and they shock the body, that's what I could like imagine. Like, the shock is all over. It might start in the stomach, it might start in the ribs, it might start in the hips. This particular video, I do remember it being sort of coming from my stomach and just radiating out. It was like being fucking CPR'd on my stomach. That's what it felt like, and it radiated out, and it just put me, I mean, I was on the bed at this point, and it just put me in this horrendous pain. It's fascinating to watch back, and I talk about this in past tense because obviously this particular reel was a year ago. But as I was watching, I was thinking, when did I have this last? It was this video. The video that I'm linking was the last time that I'd had such a terrible migraine with aura, with a dystonia storm. And I was like, what? So I just felt the need to come in and celebrate this shit, like celebrate so deeply, because living with fibro is a challenge in itself, but we have the power within to heal. And people often question, well, how, what, what the fuck, she's cuckoo, all of the things. But actually, I am living proof, and I know other women who are using the things that I'm using in terms of methods and methodologies to heal their fibro, because fibro pain comes from trauma stored in the body from childhood and through life. Once we have that trauma embedded within our soul, it just stacks and stacks and stacks if we don't shift it. It's stagnant energy at the end of the day. It's just fucking stagnant energy, and we need to be able to shift it to heal it. Once we shift it, we start the healing process. Once we step into healing some of those childhood wounds, inner child, mother wound, sister wounding, witch wounding, father wounding, all of the woundings, once we start to heal those pieces, we get this freedom. And I've already mentioned, I mention all the time, but I'm going to say it again, I'm now off my fibro meds. I'm off my fibro medication. It's done. It's dusted. I am now walking 10,000 steps. 10,000 steps with no pain. Do I walk this every day? No. But I do challenge myself to step into bigger things. This is my year of bigger. So I challenge myself to step into bigger things, knowing my own energy. And how do I know my own energy? Because I do the work. I do the spirit work. And when I say spirit, I mean God, universe, source, energy. Spirit. I call it spirit. People might call it divinity. People might call it universe. It doesn't matter what you fucking call it. It's all the same thing. It's the conscious collective. It's this beautiful energy field that we have on the external, but it starts from the internal. It starts when we connect to ourselves, when we know ourselves so deeply. And I get so passionate about this because I am living proof. My clients are living proof that this work works. So I'm going to give you a quick lowdown on what work this is, okay? And this is simple. It starts with small steps, and these small steps come from things like meditation, yoga, visualization, getting out in nature, chair yoga if you can't manage normal yoga. And yoga doesn't have to be standing on one leg with your foot to the sky, okay? Yoga is simple and it's just movement. Because when you move your body, you have to remember that when we get into those emotional states because we're in pain, emotion from that pain is literally energy in motion. Our body is screaming to be healed through our emotions. So when we start to move, that supports it. And so many people go, oh yeah, the best thing for fibro is, yeah, we've been told it's exercises. I can't move, I can't walk, I can't do this. And the more you stay in that lack mindset, the more you will have to deal with that pain. It's a fact. But what I'm not saying is you have to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. What I'm saying is you just have to move. You have to move your body. And exercise can be anything. People have this perception of the word exercise. And I know myself that when I have mentioned exercise to myself before, when I've spoken to myself and gone, I need to go to the gym, my body goes, I want to go to the gym. I can't do that. That's not for me. It doesn't align with me. But what does align with me is walking in nature. What does align with me is yoga. It never used to. But even a little dance party of my arms set at my desk, whatever that is, it's about finding what works for you. And if you want to change the way you feel about exercise, stop calling it fucking exercise. Call it movement, call it motion, call it something that really feels good for you. Because part of the problem is this misconception around what exercise is. Exercise is hoovering up. Exercise is making the bed. And with fibro, these daily tasks are not always fucking that simple. They're really not. I remember last year I was bedbound for many times, many days of that year. And now I am shifting. I'm shifting that pain because I'm shifting the energy within. It is all energy. And if you want to know more on how to deal with this pain and how to use what I call witchcraft, because what I do is witchery. What I work with is witchcraft. I work with energy, I work with herbs and natural substances in terms of like supplements. I work with holistic modalities, mindset work, emotional intelligence, getting to know my energy, soul work. These are the pieces that I use to help heal my own fibro, okay? So if I can get to the point of no meds, walking 10,000 steps and loving myself and my life, you can too. It is possible. I have some beautiful, beautiful courses. I'm going to link my courses that are fibro related in the comments, I have a course called Rebirth and I have a course called Reframe Your Pain. These two beautiful courses, one is directly linked to fibro pain and shifting your mindset around pain, and it gives you tools to sort of gauge your energy and learn how to deal with your own energy. And the other course is all about limiting beliefs. So when we eradicate limiting beliefs from our own system, from our own mind, and we work to shift them into a new reframe, that can also help with the pain. Because I was talking to my sister-in-law only yesterday, and she was talking about how she's been diagnosed with fibro, and her doctor was like, this pain is not in your whatever, this pain is in your head. And it was so frustrating to hear that. Like, I felt her pain literally and emotionally. It was hard. She was having a real hard time with that, and unfortunately GPs don't know enough about how to deal with fibro. And in a sense, yes, they are right. The pain does come from the mindset, but the pain is also very fucking real in the physical body. And this is what they're not connecting the dots on, is that the pain comes from trauma, which is all up here. Now, when we shift the trauma from our body, from our system, and we reframe our conditioning patterns, then we can shift some of that pain. But we're not getting that information because they don't know enough about it. So yes, in a sense, the pain is in our head, but it's also very real in the body. Like, it is real in the body. They're not guiding us to the right systems, to the right protocols. They're giving us medication, which doesn't always support the body. They just put a plaster over the pain. Doesn't really shift it. So, yes, it is partially to do with mindset. It is partially to do with the pain being manifested from here. But we also need some truth. We need some guidance in how to deal with that pain, because the pain in our body is really real. It really is real, and it fucking hurts. But we can get to a point where we can wake up in a morning feeling refreshed. We can wake up in a morning with a lot less pain. Will it ever go away? There's possibilities. I'm holding out for potential. Like, yes, but I am 90% healed. 90%. Can you imagine waking up and feeling that beautiful? Like, feeling that. Really fucking have that for a second and just hold that space for yourself for a moment and go, what would this be like? But I'm going to link my masterclass on Healing Fibro with Witchcraft below also. So I'm going to link you the courses, I'm going to link you the masterclass, and I'm going to link you that original reel, just so you can see what I mean. And if you have any questions around fibro, if you have any questions how I use the spirit realm and my work through mediumship and tarot to heal this, you are very, very fucking welcome to ask. Please just ask. Put a comment and a question in the comments. Comment in the comments. Whatever feels good for you, reach out. You can also private message me on the socials or email me. Drop me an email. I'm always happy to discuss this, because we shouldn't have to live in pain. We shouldn't have to, but we do. And one of the really sad things my sister-in-law said yesterday was, you just have to get on with it, don't you? And I was like, no, you shouldn't have to. But she had nowhere to turn. Nowhere. Because we take doctor's words as gospel, right? Because that's what we've been taught. The doctor knows everything. But how can they know everything when they're Googling? Because she was like, I said, did they Google? Did they Google? She was like, yeah, they got on Google. Because how can they hold all of that capacity? It's not their fault either. They can't hold all of the information that is about all of the general illnesses that are out there right now. It's just so much information. It has to have information from a specialist focused on that particular illness. But there's not enough information out there anyway about this particular illness. So unfortunately, this is the way of the world. But you don't have to. live with as much pain. You don't have to live with as much brain fog. These shift as you do the work on yourself, but you have to invest time, money, energy in yourself. This is crucial, absolutely crucial. So if you're saying I don't have any time, then you're not ready. If you're saying I can't afford things, you're not ready. If you're saying I can't focus on me right now because I've got someone else to focus on, you're not ready. And that is the truth of it, unfortunately. But maybe there will be a time when you are totally ready, and I will be here for you waiting. So hit me up, ask the questions, and I will see you on the socials.